So first things first, who are you? What's your role and where do you work?
So I am Prasanth. I am one of the contributors of Harbor, and I work at a company called 8 Gears, um, which packages Harbor as a SaaS product. And then, yeah,
And how did you get into Kubernetes? Tell me about your journey. How did it start?
the first was getting into the mentorship. So my contribution journey started with a mentorship, and I'm yet to make good contributions to Kubernetes. But for Harbor, I've been contributing to Harbor for the past 2 years approximately. So started with tinkering small issues, then into big ones, and yeah, this year.
And can you also tell me how did you get into the mentorship? What was your journey? Walk me through that. What was the beginning? Like, what were you doing before you got into Kubernetes? And what sparked your interest to be like, hey, I'm going to try out this mentorship thing?
For me, the mentorship was the first starting point of my contributions. Um, it started when I found out like uh, you can do open source and then you will also get paid for it, which is also a good starting point. And then the other thing is mainly the community was so good. So the main spark of my interest is when I started using Linux and it's open source. And then I started looking into other source codes and stuff. Then I found out like this vibrant community. The main part why I'm contributing to CHF and other things is because I get to go to KubeCons, meet a lot of people, and that was the one of the trigger points, the KubeCon and the experience. So yeah.
And you've been to a couple KubeCons now. Can you tell me about your KubeCon experiences?
So I just gave a talk in KubeCon India. It's a Project Lightning talk representing Harbor in KubeCon India. This is the first time for Harbor presenting from the contributor side in India. So I'm proud of it. And the experience was tremendously good with a lot of people reaching out, very curious about Harbor and the internal workings of it and how to integrate their tools with it. So yeah, pretty great.
And for people who haven't attended KubeCon, why should they attend?
You should definitely attend if you want to like expand your network and also like expand your knowledge and also get to know that people are really interested to work and also help you out with your contributions and yeah.
Now, the Kubernetes ecosystem moves very quickly. How do you stay up to date?
So one of the main things is follow blogs and also follow podcasts and YouTube videos stuff. And also the other main things would be attending meetings and meetups where the sessions will let you know like what are the new things happening in the Kubernetes.
Are there any blogs that you would like to mention in particular, or podcasts or YouTube channels?
Podcast wise, KubeFM is one, and also there's um, the Kubernetes podcast from Google is also one. And then there is also a blog which is called Last Week in Kubernetes Development, which would also be a good place.
Now, who is someone in the Kubernetes community who helped you level up?
Obviously, Vadim is my mentor, helped me out a lot, and huge thanks to him and also the entire Harbor community. And yeah.
And for people who don't know Vadim, can you explain a little bit more about what he is? Or sorry, about who he is and what he does?
Vadim is one of the maintainers of Harbor Project, and he also runs the company for 8 years, container registry. So he is also mentoring people in the LFX mentorship. So yeah, that's pretty much about him. And also he's in this field for the past 10 years, so he knows uh, about containers.
And can you be more specific about some of the ways that he has helped you level up? What has he done that's helped you get your skills to improve? Has it been providing feedback? Has it been teaching you concepts? Can you tell me all the different things that he's done to help you level up?
So the first thing that comes is Vadim is so helpful, like doesn't give you the answer straight away, but he projects you into a way like gets you into thinking why the answer is good. Like if I choose a tooling or something to help with the problem we have, for example, some kind of a problem, and he has a knowledge of a bunch of tools, which is very tough to have because if you give any topic, for example, SCI, he has a list of 10 tools to do the same job. So it's like picking the right tool for the right job. And that is one learning for me. And the other one is like people matter more. Like the entire business part is like just the relationship building, things like that. So that is one thing I learned from him. And the other thing is just be consistent and you will find your way out. So,
Now, question we're asking everybody. What is Kubernetes? It's a surprisingly simple question, but there are many right answers. There's no wrong one. What is Kubernetes for you?
I would say I view it as a godfather of cloud native slash cornerstone of the cloud native projects. It's just the base of all these cloud native projects. Yeah. So I just view it that way.
Now, get into more about your experience and the things that you've done to build credibility. How did you first start building credibility in the Kubernetes ecosystem? What were some of the actions that you took that made you stand out, that made people take notice?
First is being regular in the community meetings. Like I will be there in most of the community meetings and starting to do small contributions, involvement with Harbor, and then slowly it builds trust on you. Like, okay, this is some guy, and I've been seeing him for the past 3 to 4 months. So it slowly builds up, and then people like start assigning you tasks because they see you like regularly, and they will like get to know you. So yeah.
I think it's a really good point. And it's a point that some younger folks sometimes struggle with because they might expect to be doing something the very first week. But in your experience, it's much more important to wait, get knowledge about the project. What were some of the resources that you used to get immersed into what Harbor was so that you could be more productive in those meetings and then be given a chance to participate by contributing?
So one thing that I do that most people might not do is watch the previous meeting recordings. If like I will go through the meeting notes, like if I see an issue, I will check if the issue has been like, if I don't have ever knowledge, I will check is there any issues closed like that, or is there any discussions that have been happened. So I will go through the Slack threads, go through the mail threads, and probably the meetings too, if in case it's new problems. So this way you can like understand how the community works internally, how people speak to each other, and how the entire thing is orchestrated in a way like how the community like keeps going. So
now, what role did conference speaking and writing play in growing your visibility in the Kubernetes ecosystem?
it added a bunch of credibility to me. Like it also like moved my career towards better opportunities.
Could you give me some, what we need every time for these questions, specific examples? So could you tell me about some things that you've written? Could you tell me about the first time that you gave a talk? Anything like that will be helpful for the audience to have concrete examples so that they can get inspired and perhaps do the same thing.
Let's take my last KubeCon talk, which is on Harbor Maintenance Track. I'm explaining about Harbor and the subprojects of Harbor. So in the talk was just around 15, like 30 minutes window, but I completed the talk with around 15 minutes. And the other 15 minutes was completely discussion about like people geeking out on things like they really like, I just sparked the interest of them inside. There is something within the people when they see something interested that they have been wondering how can I do it in the past, and they actually get to see someone has already done that, and it really sparked their interest. And there were a lot of questions, and the interaction was so great that I need to like keep on doing this again and again to uh, get more people to excited about Harbor and Kubernetes and the entire ecosystem.
And the process of preparing the talk, was it difficult? Was it easy? How did you prepare the slides and the information that you were going to share?
Preparing the slides would be the time consuming part because for me, speaking is easier and also discussing convos are better. But the slides, you need to be accurate, you need to be technically correct, and also like that people also revisit the slides if they find the talk really useful. So you need to have that in your slides, not just some bunch of AI generated slop you get out of and put it in the slide and showcase it, but your slides just make sure it should be revisitable. So audience that have attended your talk can revisit the slides and take notes, things like that. So yeah, they can keep on learning things.
When it comes to recognition, formal versus informal recognition, what's the value of formal recognition, like ambassador programs or being a core contributor or maintainer, compared to informal credibility?
So formal credibility puts you in the spot. Like everyone will approach you. So if you are a cloud native ambassador and you are being present at KubeCon, everybody will find the badge and then will come and talk to you, and they want to learn more about the things you have done and learn more about your journey. Informal recognition and credibility is something that you need to have in order to get the formal recognition. So it's two sides of the same coin.
And could you talk about that in your process? You attend weekly meetings, you get informal credibility for showing up, for having questions, for being active, and I want to know more about the element of trust, about building trust in a project so that someone will give you something to work on. For people that want to build that trust, what are your recommendations that they can follow?
Be active, be consistent, and be persistent. Don't like give up in just a month or a week. Wait for your turn to come up. You will sure get an opportunity. You just need to wait for some time, and then like also show what you do. Like just put it out there so people can see what you really do, rather than just constraining it within yourself or just keeping it in your private repo or something. Put it out there. Write a blog, make a video if you are, and then yeah, also to make a post. Just let people know that you do something.
That's great. That connects to the next question very well. So, how do you advise others to balance online presence with real contributions? Some people really like to post a lot of stuff on social media, but we can see if there is a lot of social media posts and there can't be as much time for perhaps real contributions, going to a meeting, tackling different issues, things like that. What's your advice about how to balance those two things?
For me personally, I share process such as like a release done. So I use social media more like an announcement channels rather than putting out all my works in there, which would mean like I made this comment, come everybody see, would not be a great post, but I have tackled this entire problem. Here is how I did. So that would be a good social media post. That makes an online presence. But in order to do those, you can like the background tasks are not gonna make so good online post. So yeah, the background you need to like if you are posting about a thing, you should at least done your research and then a lot of work to back up that post is better.
Now, last question. What's one lesson you learned about reputation building that surprised you?
Then you just start helping others, being consistent, and once you start helping others, you know like you also getting to know much things. So yeah, just share and help others.
And could you give some examples of different ways that you've helped other people?
So one of them is being an LFX mentor. I mentor people in a 3 month term and then make them what open source is, let them know like how to contribute, how to manage all these things, and then how to speak in a community meeting, how to present something, and these skills. Plus also like even how to write a Slack message or like how to write a proposal, how to make people like be short, be concise, be clear, and things like that. And also, one main lesson is just wait, be consistent. It takes time. So, yeah, that's one thing I learned.
That's great. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you find that people make when they're trying to get involved in the ecosystem?
One thing everybody does is think of it as a grind, like 30 days of DevOps, 100 days of coding. You don't do coding in 100 days. It's coding is a lifetime learning. That's what I see. It's not like I do coding for 100 days, I learn Java for 100 days, so I will be contributing to Jenkins or something. Uh, it doesn't work that way. Like if you learn Go in 2 weeks and then you try to contribute to Kubernetes, which is like a 10 years of project and people putting 10 years of work, and you try to make a meaningful contributions within a month or two, it's not going to be possible. It's going to take time. Um, yeah, people like over aim for it. Like they think they can achieve things within like a short window, which is the main problem. Like
Prasanth, what's next for you? What are you going to be? What can we look forward to seeing you doing in the coming months?
in the upcoming months, you can see more on Kubernetes side. So I've been contributing to the Harbor, and I've been completely focused on Harbor, OCI containers, and the OCI spec, and all those things. So I'm slightly moving my focus towards into Kubernetes in its second decade, and also on the AI side, standardizing the AI packages and things like that. So yeah,
And if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
hit me up on Slack. I will be there on the Slack CNCF Slack channel and also Kubernetes Slack. I will be on both, whichever is your preferred. Just message me. I will be under Prasanth Baskar there. So